very special night tonight. This party, this group of people are proud. We are proud because, as a country, we made a historic decision that we would make the Canadian Constitution our own Constitution. And we are proud because when we brought the Constitution home, we decided to do it with a Charter of Rights and Freedoms that would become a symbol not just for all of Canada, but would be a symbol for the entire world. Nous avons dit comme pays qu'au moment où nous allions célébrer le moment de notre souveraineté comme pays, notre indépendance comme pays, que c'était aussi un moment de reconnaître l'importance des droits humains à travers le Canada et à travers le monde. And we did it with pride. We did it with all Canadians. There are some myths and even some lies about what happened when we brought our Constitution home. It's important for us to remember, and it's important for us to have a certain sense of our own history, of our own memory as a country. Yes, Pierre Trudeau made a decision to bring the Constitution home, and yes, he challenged Canadians after he returned to power in 1980 to say this is a time and a moment for us. This is our rendezvous with our own history. This is a chance to bring our Constitution home. But he did not do it alone. And he did not do it only in one party. Because in this province, Premier Davis was a supporter of patriating the Constitution with a Charter of Rights and Freedoms from the beginning. In the province of New Brunswick, Richard Hatfield was a committed supporter of the process. And in the House of Commons, the members of the New Democratic Party said, yes, we will support the patriation as long as the Charter is the best possible Charter we can have. And so we had a process. Mr. Chretien was the Minister of Justice. He was in charge of the process of discussing with Canadians right across the country, women's groups, Aboriginal groups, multicultural groups, disabled groups, groups from across the country, who came together in front of the Committee of Parliament that discussed this question and said, yes, let's make it not just a charter, not just any old charter, but the best possible Charter of Rights we can have for all Canadians. Alors, c'est un document du Parlement canadien et du peuple canadien et des provinces canadiennes. C'est ça la Constitution canadienne. Ça appartient à la population canadienne. Et the Parliament and the provinces of Canada, as they were asked to do by the Supreme Court of Canada, made it a document for all of Canada. And when we did that, we said to every single Canadian, there are no back seats, there are no second-class seats, there are no seats in the back for the citizens of Canada, whether you came here yesterday or whether you came here 300 years ago. You are a Canadian, and your rights are protected, and your rights are here. And we said to Canadians, whether you're gay or whether you're straight, whether you're black or whether you're white, whether you're Muslim or Christian or Jew or Buddhist or Hindu, it matters not in our country. This is a country for all the people of the world. But let me say this. It takes leaders to make things happen. And I am proud to stand before you today and introduce to you my good friend, my colleague, a friend to all of Canada, and someone who worked hard to bring our Constitution home and to make sure that when we did bring the Constitution home, we had a Charter of Rights of which we could all be proud. Mes amis, je vous présente avec grand honneur et grand plaisir l'ancien Premier ministre du Canada et le chef de notre parti, le très honorable Jean Chrétien.
Thank you. Merci. Merci. You know, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Bob, for your speech. You know, I had the privilege to be involved in a great moment in the Canadian history, was to bring home the Constitution and gave the Canadian a Charter of Right and Freedom. I've been traveling the world since a long time. When I was Prime Minister, I was member of a group called the Progressist Governance Group. There was all the governments who were center, center-left, you know, the Nordic countries, Germany, Netherlands, and places like that who had government of center, center-left, who were preoccupied. It was, Tony Blair was part of it, Bill Clinton was part of it. You know, it was called the Third Way. And whenever we had a discussion on one problem that was a nightmare for all these leaders in Europe, was the problem of immigration for them. And they were all asking me all the time, how you manage in Canada to have immigrants and have no problems with the immigrants? And I would say to them, it's because we have a Charter of Rights that guarantee every Canadian, whatever is their background, that, you know, they have the same right. And this was reflecting the values. C'est ça qu'est le Canada. C'est le pays de l'égalité, c'est le pays de la générosité, c'est le pays de la tolérance par excellence. I remember, you know, when I started to talk about the Charter of Right and Freedom, I had some problems because there was some people didn't like it very much. And I would say, yes, we used to have discrimination in this land. Less, but I would tell them the story of a Johnny Lombardi. You know of Johnny Lombardi? Here? You know, he told me that story. When he arrived in the 30s in Toronto, he went to a public bath. And he gave us 5 cents. And the guard said, you cannot get in. I said, why? He said, read the sign up there. I said, read it. What is written? For Gentiles only. So Johnny said, yes, but I'm not a Jew. He said, I'm Italian. And the guard said, it's worse. And it is in the same years in Grammaire, at the Grammar Golf Course, we, the French, could not play golf. Yeah, oh no, we could play golf only after dark. So no wonder why I have a big handicap. And all this has been cured. Now with the Charter of Rights, we're all equal. What is, as Bob said, we have 2 official languages. For me, what gave me a lot of pleasure, and they asked me if the Charter, the judges went a bit further than I expected. And yes, because they have done more to maintain the French education in every part of Canada for the people who speak French. And they made sure that in every city in Quebec, for the people who speak English, they can have their English school. You know, I can go on and on. The same thing about the gay rights. I did not expect it was to go that far. But it is there. And those who cannot accept that, you know, they should reflect. It was supposed to be terrible problems. But tolerance permits everybody to live his own life. It's what is Canada is all about. So, I spent 40 years telling always the same thing. Canada is a country of tolerance. Canada is the country of generosity. It is a country of sharing. It is a country that permits everybody to make his own life, whatever is his language, the color of his skin, the religion he practices, the handicap he has. You know, we're all equal. And you know what that makes? That makes it, and I hope it will remain like that, if we can come back to the center rather than to move to the right too much, as we're in danger of having at times. If we maintain the Canadian values that I mentioned to you, you know, that had made us, you know, a fabulous country, the best country in the world. I was happy to spend 40 years doing that, and vive le Canada!